This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, Bruchim Habayim. Welcome everyone. Shalom Aleichem to the Friday edition of our Shiurim. We have a number of Shiurim today. First I want to share with you some original insights on Parshas Tzav. The Pasuk says, Parak Vav, Pasuk Yud Ches, Zois Toiras HaChatas. This is the rule of the Chatas, B'mkaim Asher Tishached Ha'olah, Tishached HaChatas of Hashem. In the place that you shech the Olah, you should shech the Chatas before Hashem. Now, what does that mean in the place that you shech the Olah, you should shech the Chatas? Where do you shech the Olah? You shech the Olah in the Tzav, in the north. So, in the north, you should shech the Chatas. But it's interesting, it doesn't say shech the Chatas in the north. It says in the place of the Olah, you should shech the Chatas. Likewise, by the Asham, it says, B'mkaim asher yishchatu es ha'olah, yishchatu es ha'asham. It doesn't say shech the Asham in the north. Or it doesn't even say, in the place of the Chatas, you should shech the Asham. It says, in the place of the Oila, you should shech the Asham. Meaning, so two questions. Number one, why doesn't it say, shech them in the north? And why is it toilet in the Makom Ha'oila? That's the question. And perhaps we could answer as follows. The Kli Yakar tries to investigate what is the reason you should shech the oila and the chatas and the asham in the north. He says it's to preserve the dignity of the sinners, because if the sinners would have to bring the carbon in a different place than the oila, then people are going to say that the first guy was makriv and oila. These guys, they're makriv a chatas and an asham. So it's going to be embarrassing. So in order to spare them from the embarrassment, so they're makriv the carbon chatas and asham in the same place that the oila was brought. Accordingly, we can understand, it doesn't want to just say, shech the chatas, shech the asham in the north. But it's madgish, it emphasizes, in the place of the oila, you should shech the chatas. In the place of the oila, you should shech the asham. Because it's not the north that we're getting at, that's not what the focus is. The focus is on the place of the oila. Okay. Rashi says in Parak Ches, Pasuk Chav Ches, Vayakter HaMizbecha, that Moshe was the one who did the avodah during the Shivas Yimei Miluim, B'chalak Lavan. If you look at the Sifsei Chachamim, he brings from the Mizrahi, who's bothered, why did Rashi wait till the end of all the karbanos to say, by the way, during the days of the Miluim, Moshe did the avodah? Rashi should have said right away. By the very first carbon that was brought, we know that there were a number of karbanos that were needed to be brought for the Miluim. So, for instance, he needed to bring a par for a chatas and the two elim, and by the par of the chatas, Rashi doesn't point out Moshe did the avodah. By the ayol of the oila, Rashi doesn't point out that Moshe did the avodah. Only by the ayol of the miluim, Rashi points it out. So the Sifsei Chachamim brings the re'im. He says, I don't know why Rashi waited until the final carbon. Maybe he waited till the end to say everything was done by Moshe. But maybe we could say that Rashi is emphasizing that Moshe did the avodah of the miluim, not just on the karbanos that happened to be brought during the time of the inauguration, but the very karban that inaugurated the Mishkan, not just the karbanos that took place during the Shivas Yimei Miluim, but even the Ayil HaMiluim, even the carbon which inaugurated the Mishkan, that Moshe also did the Avodah. Now, in terms of the Ha'arais, I had one new one this morning that didn't make it to the sheet, and maybe an answer to another one, so that maybe we'll put it on the Pninei. Ha'ara, okay, so let me share with you just a thought I had this morning. By the Karbanos of the Miluim, Parak Ches Pasuk Gimel, the Pasuk says, Ve'ez kol ha'eda hakel, and the whole congregation gather. Rashi says this is one of the places that a small area fit a large amount of people. So I was just wondering, I understand, all of Klal Yisrael fit Pesach HaYomayit, but why this miracle? So, one of the reasons why this miracle was necessary is Hashem wanted Klal Yisrael to see that the selection of Aaron was not nepotism, but it was divinely sanctioned. But what is interesting, though, is why the miracle that all of the Klal Yisrael fit into this small area? Why dafka that miracle? And just a small thought is we know that the Mishkan is a microcosm of the universe. We spoke about this at length, that the day the Mishkan was built, the world was established, the world took a firm standing. There's an idea that everything in the Mishkan represented the Shamayim, the Aretz, the Koichavim, and that's why B'Tzalel needed to know the letters with which Hashem created heaven and earth. Now we know the universe was created B'Shvil Yisrael, because of the Jewish people. Perhaps in a similar vein, upon the erection of the Mishkan, Hashem had all of Klal Yisrael stand Pesach HaYomayit, and they all fit in there to indicate, well, just like the Mishkan is a microcosm of the universe, the purpose of the Mishkan then, just like the purpose of the world is for Israel, the purpose of the Mishkan is also for Klal Yisrael, just like the universe is B'Shvil Yisrael. And this miracle that all of Yisrael fit in, Pesach HaYomayit, was highlighting this message that the same way the world is B'Shvil Yisrael, the microcosm of the world is likewise B'Shvil Yisrael. Okay, so these are some thoughts on Parshas Tzav, and I want to share with you some of the imponderables.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.